Okay, I am very excited to be able to share this information with you today. This is something I just found out recently, but this is something you can try at home, so this is kind of consider this a sort of play-along type video. But essentially, I discovered that in KSP version 1.05, there is this really amazing Easter egg in that, well, what it is a new planet, basically, and for whatever reason it was never really finished and it was removed from the game. But interestingly, some of its files exist in version 1.05 specifically, so I'm not going to go into the specifics of how to acquire a copy of version 1.05 because it's not available by squad, but there are means of getting one. And here we are. So what you're going to do is, well, wait for the game to load. I've just started a new game for the purposes of this. Now you want to go to the Space Center view and activate Time Warp and get yourself to Year 1, Day 62. It shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to go ahead and skip through the actual process in which I did that because I don't want to give anyone an epileptic seizure. But then what you want to do is just slap a rocket together. It doesn't need to be particularly amazing, so I just kind of put the cupola board on because it's not used very often. And then whatever, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need a great deal. It doesn't really matter a great deal what it is, as long as it can get into orbit and just go somewhere. So yeah, we can just skip through a lot of that and then go to the launch. Pretty sure nothing of what I just said made sense, but whatever. So, I mean, there's nothing complex about what you need to do to begin with. You just need to get into an orbit, and I'm guessing most of you are familiar with how to get into an orbit at this stage, so I think we can just skip through this bit. But I guess if you do need help, there are tutorials around that show you how. Okay, so we're just going to finish up our circularization burn, and I'm not gone for any specific altitude really. As long as you're above the Kármán line, that's fine. So what we're going to do now, we're going to open up the map screen and zoom all the way out. Now ignore that planet in between Kerbin and Juno. That was just something I used to film part of Expedition Eve when Jeb ends up on a planet. The actual thing we're looking at here, where I'm moving the mouse, is the space in between Juno and Dres. There's nothing here on the map screen, and creating a maneuver node will not do anything. But if we just time warp to, you know, the apoapsis point or wherever and start burning, something will happen. So I kind of elected to use the mammoth rocket stage and then a skipper upper stage just because I wanted a nice load of power, because you do have a very narrow window to get this right. So I think just less about efficiency and more about just raw power. So we're going to go and zoom out and just focus on the sun so you can get a nice even view. Now watch our orbit marker closely. So I've actually not done a very good orbit here. Don't worry too much about that. We're purely focusing on our apoapsis. So just keep watching. Just keep watching. Nearly there. Getting high. Oh, there we go. Now we have a very, very glitchy encounter with this sort of, well, mysterious orbit. So let's just go and time warp up to it and see what we can find. So I would recommend not using a time warp mod and just doing it in the stocks. Here we go. Just don't worry if it disappears. It will just occasionally glitch back in. There you go. You can see it kind of pops in and out. It's clearly not designed to run this way. And sometimes, and I just quick time warped into the surface, so we can just quick load. Quick loaded using F9, and well, here we are. We can just warp back to where we were, and this is it. So it's quite strange. It's kind of this solid black ball. We can go in and have a closer look, see what it looks like. Huh.
Haters gonna hate, I laugh cause you fake. Love you mad cause I do something.